Hey there friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. In today's video, I'm going to be story planning with the Paper Person Make a Splash kit, which was the subscription kit from July of 2021. So this one has a definite summer theme with a lot of cards, sentiments, stickers, and papers that are really geared towards water. So swimming, making a splash pads, pools, all of that kind of stuff. And we do have a bunch of those stories that I have left to tell from this summer. So I'm really excited to use the supplies in this month's kit to tell some of our water related stories. So a really quick rundown of what all came in this kit. This kit came with 4 different papers that are made by Paper Person. So none of these are from other collections. We've got a white background with people swimming, and then we have a blue background with people swimming. Then for our next paper, we have a floral pattern on one side with a strawberry pattern on the back side. There is this really fun, almost confetti looking type of pattern on this paper with a lined ledger. This is white with a pink ledger lines on the back. And then we have a blue background with people swimming and like splash marks on it, and then the back side is a lighter blue and white stripe. So some really fun patterns that lend themselves really well to documenting all of those swimming type of stories. It's just summery, very, very summery. Then there were 2 additional papers that I went ahead and cut apart into the journaling cards for this month. I like to do a lot of my projects inside of pocket pages or to just use them as journaling cards. So we have 4 4x6 cards, summertime with Monday through Sunday, another one of those floral patterns, a bunch of beach chairs that are all set up here, so in colors like pink and blue and orange, and then some lemons. The back side of all of these has a very colorful rainbow stripe. So if any of the front sides are not ones that I end up using, I can totally use the back side instead. For the 3x4 cards, we have summer plans, let's do this, with people, places, activities, a place for journaling or a photo documented by and date. Then we've got a multicolored stripe here, which you can totally use this for journaling. That's probably what I will do with it. Some of these are going to have a pink on pink polka dot background, and then other ones are going to have this same rainbow stripe pattern. So as I flip them over, you'll see that. Next, we have The Ocean Has My Heart. We have this one that reminds me of a watermelon, which is really super fun. A this is a blue ledger line card for more journaling. This one that says, let the good times roll, summer, where, when, some area for photo or journaling, and then a place where you can mark stars. And also you can date stamp at the bottom or, add additional information down there. What I did on my summer vacation: read, ate, visited, watched, worked on, went, and listened to. July, with an area for 2 different date stamps, and 2021. Chase the sun, the sweet life, with lots of different ice creams and popsicles. A green with white polka dots. A blue on blue diagonal stripe. This one is a bunch of sand castles. We've got a strawberry pattern, a bunch of fruit, which that one's really, really pretty, and make a splash. So those are all of the journaling cards this time around. There's also a stamp set included that says play all day, heat wave, feels like summer, summer snapshots, sun kissed, and then this little section, which is a fill in sort of label where you can mark the temperature. So the high, the low, feels like, humidity, and the date. Now, if you purchased this kit and got it in the mail, you might have noticed that there was a second one of these included. Some of them have a misprint, or maybe even all of them have a misprint here on the thermometer, where there's a little section that is filled in that shouldn't be. So the new one, which I went ahead and just put the new one here and threw out the old one, The new one has the thermometer corrected. So in case you're wondering why that was included, that's why. We've also got a really fun alphabet sticker. I super love the way that this one looks. It's blue with a white line down the middle. The marketing stickers have a bunch of swimmers on them, which is pretty fun. There's a puffy sticker set with a couple of phrases, and then some watermarks and some hearts. And then there's also a cardstock sticker set. Now some of this, I don't know if the entire kit was designed by Salem Designs or if just some of it was, but some of it does have, you know, sunshine stickers by Salem Designs. So just to keep that in mind. So lots of different sentiments here. Some of the fruit that we saw from the cards, carefree, all things happy and fun, no hurries, no worries. Some really cool half circle labels, a bunch of different circle stickers, just tons of fun stuff here on the sticker sheet. So I am quite excited to dive into all of this and get some stories told. I'm going to go ahead, put you on fast forward while I do so. Once I have everything sectioned off the way that I want it to be, we will slow back down and finish up our video for today. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, friends, so the first thing I'm going to do here is set everything off to the side and try to figure out what different kinds of stories I can tell from the various pieces. The first thing that caught my eye in this cardstock sticker set were a bunch of those circle stickers. So I'm going to actually punch all of those out. And that's something that I noticed on this particular sticker set, is that a lot of them are cut enough through that you can actually just punch all of those pieces out, kind of like they are a chipboard sticker. And that was actually really nice for being able to move things around and see what all I had here. So I punched out the 6 different circles and realized that 2 of them are actually slightly smaller than the other 4. So my original plan, which was to use those as some kind of bullet point type of thing, I'm not actually going to do that because I don't like the fact that they are not all the same size. I would rather them all be the same, but I'll figure out other ways to use those a bit later on. I punched out a few more of them and then ended up setting aside all of those stickers for now and then pulling out the cards to go through those. So with these cards, the pile that I'm putting together here in the middle of the screen, I'm planning to use for a week of project life. So I pulled a couple of the 4x6 cards and then a bunch of the 3x4 that I can use as either journaling sections or filler cards or, you know, things kind of like that. And there's also a title piece that says July with some areas to add in date stamping. And I figured that that could be another good card for my project life. I'll just have to make sure it goes into the month of July. Then I'm going to go through all the rest of the cards and try to put them in piles where I like the way that they look together, or just based on some of the different stories that I would like to tell with this kit. One example is a story about getting some ice cream at the beach recently. So there's that ice cream card there. Another example in the upper right hand corner, I've got, you know, the sand castles, and then the card about the ocean and the card about making a splash for actually swimming at the beach. Now, we don't live on the ocean, so I'll find a way to cover that up later and I'll take you through that process here. But that's where that pile is coming from. And then I've got, you know, the green and like pinky peachy color of the strawberries and watermelons with the Chase the Sun card. I like the way that those all look together. I've got this lighter colored piece with all of the floral and those pieces. And then I've got the darker green with the lemons card. And then I also threw in a polka dotted pink card there as well, just to get some of those brighter colors. So once I have those sectioned off into sets that I like the way that they all look together, I set those all to the side, and then we're going to pull over one at a time to work on them here. So for this first one, I really, really like the lemon card, and I love the way that that dark green goes with it. I'm trying to figure out if I can use this pink card as some kind of journaling piece. ultimately I will decide to forego the pink card, to set that to the side and use it in a different project and just keep the yellow lemons and that dark green. And that's really solidified right here when I pull out it's almost like a peach type of shape, but it has yellow writing and it says the word summer on it. And then I also pulled out some of the fruit, particularly the large lemon, to layer up on top of the green card. And that really tied in the green and the yellow. And there was no room for the pink at that point. So I decided to go with that. And then I'm still trying to figure out how I can get some journaling onto this page, since words are always a big part of story, putting together stories for me. I will eventually use that lemon card there as my journaling card. I'm thinking I'll probably print on vellum and then put that on top of the card. I am debating between cutting up some of these larger 12 by 12 papers to use those as journaling instead, but I just really, really love the way that those go together. I also debated using the sticker sheet there with the alphabets to put some kind of title on there. But again, I want to keep this pretty cohesive with those green and yellow colors. So instead, I'm going to pull off a lot more of those fruit pieces. So there's a couple. I think one's a orange and one might be another lemon. And then there is a pile of fruit that I'm going to pull out here. And that's going to be what will tie together this whole spread. So what I'm going to end up telling the story of with this one is swimming with my daughter. And I believe I put on my notes that I wanted to tell the story about taking her to the beach. But I may also just tell a story from the pool or something of that, something to do with that. She has this long sleeve floral yellow bathing suit that I feel like would be a really great combination with the cards and the sentiments on this page. So I'm going to print a full page photo, and then I'll probably also print a 3x4 photo to put in a pocket page. And then, like I said, I'll make that lemon page my journaling section. So here's where I'm going to sketch out what this is going to look like. I also grabbed the sentiment that says endless summer, and I'm going to layer that on top of the pile of fruit. When I sketch it out on the page, it's actually out of scale for sure. Like, it's not as big as I draw it to be. It's going to be a little bit smaller than that. It'll just go in the bottom left-hand corner of whatever photo I print, assuming that I have the space to put it there. And then the rest of this will either be a filler card like this one right here, journaling, and then the photo. So it's just going to be figuring out which photo I want to pull and tell the story of. Isabella, has been really, really loving swimming this summer. We got her a new life jacket that's got, the arm wings kind of attached to it. It's like that newer style of life jacket that you clip in the back. And that makes her feel a lot more comfortable swimming on her own. So she's been loving that. And then she just recently started putting her face in the water too. So those are some of the stories that I want to capture from this summer, particularly about her. So that's, I think, what this one will end up being. So we'll stick that into a pocket and close it up and put that one to the side, and then pull over the next section of cards. So for this one, I have this floral pink card that's got a lot of those blue and teal tones in it, which is why I pulled out the diagonal stripe blue and the ledger teal card, which will give me a lot of space for photos and for journaling. Because I have so much room for that, I actually want to take this diagonal blue card and turn it into some kind of filler card per se. So I'm pulling out a bunch of these ice cream icons from the sticker sheet. There were 3 of them that were a little bit more popsicle-like, and then there were 3 of them that were like ice cream in a cone. And then there was a title piece that says, eat all of this, or eat all this, something like that. Eat all the, maybe. And then there was another piece that said ice cream. I think it says eat all the. So then my title will say eat all the ice cream. And this I thought would be a really great way to document getting some ice cream at the beach. So one of the things I enjoy with storytelling in this way is telling the same story or the story of the same day from different angles. So one of them I might tell about, Isabella swimming. And one of them I might tell about the kids getting ice cream and making a giant mess. And one of them I might tell about having a picnic. All different kinds of angles on the exact same day, the exact same story, which helps me to not only stretch my supplies, but also to use them up by telling all the stories. And then you get, so many different views or so many different stories of the same moment in time. And I think that it's really valuable for storytelling. So I have taken that sticker sheet and punched everything else out. So I skipped over all of that because it did take me a bit, but it's much easier for me to move these pieces around in order to figure out where to put everything than it is for me to, try and move around that huge sheet of stickers. So I popped all of those out. And then you can see how I'm going to layer up the filler card there that says eat all of the ice cream. I'm going to do the same, probably a vellum piece with journaling on top of it for the floral card there. I'll use the blue alphabet stickers to make a title, something probably like making a mess or something that signifies the fact that my kids had ice cream and were a disaster. And that could be it. Like, what a disaster. That could be my title. And then I also have the card that's got the really thick lines on it in different colors. That one I would like to turn into another type of journaling card and put some kind of title on top of it and use almost like a bullet point type of journaling within those colorful sections. And once I get this a little bit more sketched out here, I will pull some pieces out of the stickers to help me do just that. One of the things I like to do with the sticker sheets or cardstock stickers or chipboard stickers and all of those types of embellishments is as I'm looking through them to really pay attention to similar shapes. So in the beginning, I did all of the circles. That was what first drew my eye. Then I've got, a bunch of different fruit pieces. Like I could totally use the fruit pieces as bullet points. And you'll see me kind of think about doing that here, although it doesn't actually happen. And then there were also a bunch of tiny little stars, which I will also consider that, I think, or maybe I considered that much earlier. But the stars could have been really great bullet points. And then there was a puffy sticker set that comes in this collection that's got a bunch of little tiny puffy hearts that are a great option for bullet point journaling. So, lots of different ways to use those types of journaling and use up a lot of your embellishments at the same time, especially those repeated shapes. And that's one of the things that I was doing here. Another thing that you could do with this collection is if you have a story about getting ice cream or some kind of maybe tradition that you have in regards to ice cream or popsicles, anything like that. There were 6 of those types of icons in the sticker. So you've got the 3 cone ice creams, and then you have the 3 popsicle type ice creams. And those could also be used as a form of bullet points. You could throw them down the edge of, a 12 by 12 or a 6 by 12 or a 9 by 12. I think they would probably fit very nicely on a 12-inch tall canvas. And then put some of your journaling next to those and pair that with like a really large photo or something of the like, with ice cream. I think that would be a really cute story to tell too, but not one that I'm going to do this time around. So you saw that I decided to grab out the puffy sticker title and some of those puffy sticker hearts, and that's how I'm going to finish up the layout about ice cream. For this next one, this is the collection of cards that I pulled that has that peachy pink color with the strawberries and the watermelon and pairing that with the green and yellow. So I want to use this to just tell a random summer story. And because I don't really have, we never really took too much too many pictures with like fruit in them. So like the fruit isn't necessarily going to be the jumping off point. It's more the fact that it's just like pure summer, like strawberries and watermelons and sunshine just makes you think pure summer. So what I want to do for this one is to create a 9x12 canvas where I'm going to print a photo at 9x12, and I'm going to scrap lift an idea that Kim Chofin, who is Kim Documents Life on Instagram, she always creates these projects where she prints a large photo and then cuts up her cards and additional photos and puts them on top of the large photo. So I want to do something like that because I've just been really admiring those types of projects from her. So I'm going to take the 3 journaling cards there, and I did grab back out the July title card to use as a border for the Chase the Sun card. I think I'll punch that into a circle and put it on top of the peach colored card. And those I'm going to put down the edge or the side of a large photo and then kind of prop them up on foam stickers or something like that. And I think that will be a really great way to tell just a random summer story, possibly from going down to North Carolina to visit our in-laws, my sister-in-law and her husband and their baby. Or, you know, if I don't have something that works from that, then I'm sure I can find something else to tell. Okay, so now we are moving on to a story about going to the beach. So as I said before, this card that I'm working on right here has, you know, some kind of sentiment about the ocean on it. And we do not live anywhere near the ocean at all. And we're not going to the ocean anytime until we're actually going to go down to Mexico in November for my sister's wedding. And she's getting married on the beach of the ocean. So I could have held on to this card until then, but I figure I'll get plenty of other stuff that I can use to help me document her wedding. So I'm not too concerned about that. So instead what I did is I pulled off 2 of the half circle stickers from the sticker sheet, and I'm going to put those together to create a full circle. And then in the middle of that, there is a lighter pink circle that says something about going to the beach. And that fits really perfectly in that circle. So I'm going to put it in there. And the nice thing is that that pink color shows up already in that card. So it's not out of place to put the pink in amongst all of the blue and the yellow. It'll actually tie it in really nicely. But I am struggling to figure out how to get it to mesh with the sandcastle card there. I had also pulled out a teal card, and it just, the colors weren't, I wasn't loving it. So I'm going to set the beach card to the side, and instead I'm going to work on the sandcastle card. What I'm going to do here is print some journaling on vellum and then use the title Sunshine with the palm trees up at the top, pairing that with the puffy sticker that says summer, and then there's also a little cardstock sticker that says beach with an arrow. I feel like that would go really nicely on a photo, but I would like to get one more journaling card to go with this story. So for this one, I'm going to cut up one of the 12x12 papers. I really love this blue and white stripe. It makes me think of the beach. It makes me think of like vintage bathing suits where they had those really strong, bold stripes on them, or like a beach towel. I feel like sometimes has those really strong stripes. I love that lighter shade of blue. I think that that's really pretty, and it goes nicely also with the sandcastles. There are little flags sticking out of the sandcastles that have a similar color to them. So I'm going to grab another one of those circle cardstock stickers, again, that has like a beach sentiment on it. And I will also put that into the middle of a circle label from the Allie Edwards Basics collection, Storytelling Basics. And I feel like that will make it a little bit more substantial on the card. So, you know, that one little cardstock sticker would have looked kind of silly all by itself. So it needed something to go behind it. For this one, I want to tell the story of Jonah playing in the sand on the beach. I have some really awesome photos of him building, you know, he wasn't really building sandcastles. He was more like filling up the bucket with water from the lake. And it was really, really cute. So I'm going to print a photo that will span across a 6x8 spread. So it will actually be more like 14 inches wide by 8¼ inches tall. And then I will add the journaling card that I will build there and the sentiment card on top of that photo to tie in the story and give me a little bit of decoration on top of that large photo. So I think that one will end up being really cute. So then that left me with a piece of this paper that is 3 inches wide by 8 inches tall. And one of the other projects I work on throughout the course of the year is a baby album or a first year album for my niece. And so recently we went to a splash pad with her, and I have a bunch of pictures of her in her bathing suit playing at the splash pad. And I figured that this would be a perfect story to document with the rest of those supplies. So I'm going to use the Make a Splash title because that kind of perfectly pairs with the idea of a splash pad. And then I also want to use the water splatters. There's 2 of them that were on the puffy stickers because again, that has that make a splash, like it's a splash type of look to it. And then I can use the rest of the space to create some journaling area. I will likely punch out somehow the Make a Splash title. So it's not going to be a 3x4. It will probably be just a little section for the title. I'm not totally sure yet, but we'll see as we work on it how that one turns out. And then on the opposite side, I will put in a full page photo, likely outside of the page protector, and then add a sentiment at the bottom there's like another little cardstock splash type of icon. So I'm going to add that on the page as well. And I think that will help to tie everything in. It gives you like the rule of 3 type of deal. And then, just a fun way to document the story of going to the splash pad with her. Those pictures are some of my favorites. So I think that'll be a fun story to tell. So I'll put this one away. And then I think I still have that one with the beach, the ocean that we altered here to go. So this one I'm going to struggle with for a little bit before figuring out what to do with it. I thought about pulling out some of these papers and maybe seeing is there a way to incorporate those, but I wasn't loving it. I love the look of these papers, but I really struggled to use them this time, only using a piece of that striped blue and white paper. We'll see if I can find ways to use them later on, but I don't know, I just struggled with those a bit. So I thought about it and then decided, no, I'm not going to use those. So what I will decide to do is to find a way. I'm going to alter that 3x4 journaling card into a 3x12-ish journaling card. And then I can add some journaling about I can't remember if this one's going to be another beach story or if this one's going to be a pool story, although it says beach. So I probably will use this one to tell the story about going to the beach. And then the one at the beginning with Isabella, I will likely use to talk about going to the pool. So that way there's, not too many iterations of the same story because I said before that going from different angles can be a really fun way to tell lots of different parts of the story, but I also sometimes get bored of telling the same story over and over again. So we will mix it up and do some at the pool and some at the beach. And that's just going to be how this one's going to go. So I have this pink on pink polka dot card that I have not used still, and I debated finding a way to do that. I also pulled back out all of those circle embellishments and a couple of the larger fruit pieces to see if I wanted to do some bullet point journaling on this one. I considered just putting the beach sentiment into the middle there and then using those half circles as bullet points, but I really liked it best this way, where I can add the journaling and then I'll probably stick another photo there at the bottom because, depending on how much story there is to tell. So we'll fold this one up and put all of that away, and that's going to leave me with just my project life. So I will bring all of that back over. I do debate on if I want to tell any additional stories with these last 2 cards, but decide, no, I'm not really feeling that very much. So I'll end up adding those back in with my Project Life materials. The nice thing about them is that they are super generic. They're just a pattern, so they could eventually become some kind of filler card, or I always welcome the opportunity to have more journaling cards as well. So, adding my words into Project Life using that teal card will be a really great opportunity. One of the ideas I did have for these was to create some kind of flip up and use that inside of a traveler's notebook. One of the cards I really struggled with this time was the ice cream one on the back side of that pink on pink polka dot. And I feel like I struggled with that because it had a lot of brown in it. It's like a pink and brown card, but there's not a lot of brown in anything else in this kit. So it felt a little bit off, like I struggled to find a way to make it feel cohesive with some of the other products. But, it is what it is. So I'm adding that in with Project Life instead, using that pink on pink. All right, so in this pocket here, I'm going to put all of the supplies that I have left over. I have the stamp set, a couple of the cards that we had put to the side in the beginning, and then all the rest of those cardstock stickers, and that's what I will pull to use for most likely week 30 in my 2021 Project Life album. All right, friends, that completes my planning process for today. So from the Make a Splash kit from Paper Person, I pulled out a total of 6 stories to tell plus a week of Project Life. I didn't really dive very much into the pattern papers this time. Almost all of them are unused except for a small portion of this paper. I really liked this stripe. So for now, I'm just going to stick these into my stash, and then when I need some kind of summary pattern, I'll be able to pull it out and use it from there. So that is going to be my plan for now. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed seeing this planning process. Tomorrow, I am going to be back with a process video putting together one of these layouts. And then time permitting, I may or may not be back on Wednesday live to put together the rest of the stories from this month's collection. So be sure to check back in with me likely tomorrow to see if that live is going to take place. It just depends on moving stuff. All right, well, that is going to do it for me for today. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you all in tomorrow's video. Bye, friends.